Hey guys. Okay, I think I am live now. So I'm going to get started. Just a disclosure, I'm only going to keep this on my regular Facebook for like a day, and then I'm putting it only in my group. So if you want to join my group, it's all you need to know about wholesaling. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what I'm about to do. I'm going to show you guys, and if y'all have questions, just let me know. I'm going to go back and forth between my Facebook here so I can see the questions you guys have and what I'm doing. So hopefully I'll see all your questions in time. Okay. Now, how do you find leads? I'm going to pull this up. How do you find leads for free at any time, anywhere? I'm about to show you guys a little trick. So these are the kinds of tips and tricks that I'm going to be sharing in my 12-week boot camp. If you can only imagine what I'm sharing for free, if you can only imagine what I have in the boot camp, if this is the kind of stuff that I'm sharing for free, there's a lot of information in the boot camp. I have ways that I learned along the way, the hard way, to figure out how to make this business work where I was at. When I started, I was broke. So I had to start learning how to do everything with nothing. And so this is a little bit about, and I had to get super creative. So yesterday I met up with a guy that I'm mentoring and showed him how to do this. And I thought, I'll share it with you guys too. So first off, go to Google. Now, where are you at? You can type in the address. At that time, we were at 3rd generation coffee. So I'm going to just type that up. And so you guys can see, this is where we were at. I'm not there now, so anybody trying to stalk me won't find me there. So we were here, and I was like, okay, I'm going to show you how to find leads anywhere at any time. So if you're somewhere and you're like, I want to drive for dollars, where should I focus? Because some people are like, just drive any neighborhood. That's not a great idea. First off, you need to know the location at least a little bit before you start driving it. So if it's a traditional wholesale deal, you want it to be the ARV to be between 150 or 130 to about 300,000, give or take. Reason why is because if you get it too low, you almost have to have that seller pay you for you to take it, for you to also be able to make an assignment fee, and the buyer to be able to make it some money as well. Because if it's too cheap after repairs and after you're 30% off, like you'll notice that you have to offer like negative $11,000 to make that deal work. Those are more like, those are more for creative strategies, which I do have that. That's also going to be in the course, but I'm not going to be talking about that right now. But so here we are, we were here, and I was like, okay, bring up the map. The next thing you want to do is look up the county that you're in. So we're going to look up Montgomery County Appraisal District, and we're also going to do Zillow. So I'm going to show you guys just real quick what I did. So because we know the ARV needs to be between like 150 to 300,000. And also I prefer homes that are at least got 10 years of equity, hopefully, in it or more. So the older the home in these better neighborhoods, the better for me. So for you guys too. I'm gonna just check to see if you guys are asking me any questions real quick. For some reason this isn't on here. So, all right, so I'm gonna go back. Montgomery County Appraisal District. We actually found a hot lead, like just looking around, but I'm not going to share that with you guys. I'm not going to let y'all see that one. So I was over here like, okay, here we are. So let's go in. You just go to your Google Maps, super simple. And you look for, you notice that some of these have street names. I'll scroll in just a little bit more just in case you guys aren't seeing this. See, these have street names here. And these little images are houses, see? And so I was looking for neighborhoods right where we were. So I'm like, hey, here's a neighborhood. So I went on here. I'm like, yeah, these are houses. So I scrolled in a little bit more. And you can see the houses. You can click on one and see them. I'll get some of the street view. Yeah, so you can see these houses, and if you look at these houses, they look like they were built probably in the 1970s, 1980s. When you know more about this business and more about houses, you'll start being able to notice certain they're like year models of houses and everything. So that just comes with experience. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Okay, so let's look this up. So I'm going to look up one that we didn't look up yesterday. So I'm going to look up 710 Shadowbrook. And here's the thing, if you guys see, these are like all 2-story houses. This is another golden nugget I'm going to give you guys. You can really become niched. And I was talking to a lady, she does this too. She just goes after people over 65 that live in 2-story houses that probably have not been in their second story in the last few years because they can't make it up the stairs. So if the older the neighborhood is, the longer these people probably have owned these houses, the older they probably are, and they need to downsize. So that's just a little tip there that these people over 65 to go after that live in these 2-story houses. Now back to this 1-story, 710 Shadowbrook. So I'm going to look this up. So I went to Montgomery County Appraisal District, and I'll go back just in case I went a little too fast for you guys. I've been doing this a while, so I have a tendency to go kind of fast. So Montgomery County Central Appraisal District. And so I'm going to go to 710 and Shadowbrook. I sometimes don't put the full name. See, so I'm going to do 710 Shadow instead. Because sometimes, oh look, it looks like an LLC owns it. So that was a good pick. You know what this would be for me, guys? So I'm going to scroll down and see when they bought it. They bought it in 2009 and it looks like crap. So I would still reach out to those people, all right? If one thing, they could be a buyer. So this is also how I find buyers in neighborhoods is any LLCs that I find on the street, I take down, I look them up, and then I call them for a buyer. So that was a little quick tip on buyers too. So this one, let's just go back to, now they've owned it for what? Since 2009, like 12 years. So we could talk to them. They've owned it a while and it doesn't look that great. If you guys saw it again, the 710 Shadowbrook, see, it's probably a rental. Okay, and right now people aren't paying rent so well, so this would be probably somebody I would call. So hey, if anybody wants to call, this wasn't a lead I was going after anyways, and I know some of you guys will do that. So I don't care. There's an abundance, and I'm not worried. Okay. So back to this. Now, the way that I would know this is the neighborhood that I want to be in first, let's just type in Shadowbrook. I wouldn't even type in the 710 at first. So Shadowbrook, I'm going to type that in and just look at the street. And this is also where I would be like, oh, LLCs are in here. This is where I'm going to call somebody and see if they could be my new buyer in this neighborhood if I find a wholesale deal. So here you can easily see the assessed value, and these are within the ARV of 150 to 300,000. So this is a great neighborhood. Also, I want to check this one out, but it is lane instead of drive. So I'm like, why is this 50? Oh, it's in Willis. Never mind. I stay focused on certain cities. I don't, I did the whole spread thin thing. You guys can keep trying that if it works for you, but it didn't work for me. I noticed the more I focused, the better I got. I see people trying to scale and go nationwide, and they can't even make 30,000 a month consistently. Don't do that. I mean, you can. So back to this one, this house, I'm going to go ahead and expand the living improvement area. So this house was built in 1975. Yes, guys, this person owned it for more than 10 years. It was built in 1975, meaning that they've probably paid down some, and there's some equity in this house. Didn't have to buy a high equity list, didn't have to figure out, are these people old, whatever. And if it was an individual, I'd also go to the tax assessor and just see if they're paying their own taxes and it's not a mortgage company, because then that tells me that their house is paid off and they're even hotter and I know they're older. And if I see the exemptions on the tax assessor, so then I'll be like, yes. Okay, so this would be a neighborhood I would drive. It's within the range of the 150 to 300,000. The homes were built in 1974, 1975, and now drive for dollars. Check those out. I'm going to call this person anyways to see if they want to become one of my buyers and see if they want to sell. And then we also went around some blocks and we found the very first one kind of like this. I have a tendency of flowing and things just being attracted. But the very first one we looked up actually was a great deal. So he's following up with the people today and we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, so that is how you can find leads anywhere at any time free, is figuring out first, is it the right kind of neighborhood? And that's you going to, you saw me go to the Montgomery County Appraisal District. I could also put it in here, Shadowbrook Drive, Spring, Texas. If I could spell. Oh, I just brought up one, but I would just get out of here and just, hey, does this look like they're in between the 130 to 300,000? Yeah, some of these neighborhoods, some are a little too high, so I wouldn't want to go over there. But I would look in there and be like, yeah, that neighborhood is in our price range. See this one right here? That's in our price range. So I would totally go check that out and see what I could find. And you saw the county appraisal, how I did it too, just by typing in the street name only. I was able to pull up the houses on that street and see what they were worth, and then also got to see any LLCs that were part of it. And that's it. If you guys have any questions about that, just ask me below and I will get back to you. And again, I am going to be deleting this video off of my main profile page and just putting it in my group page after today. If you'd like to have more videos like this, I am putting these videos in my group for you guys to get back to. And the group is called All You Need to Know About Wholesaling. And I'm also doing a 12-week paid mentorship boot camp. And I think it's the most complete wholesaling course you could ever find anywhere. If you're interested, also let us know. If you liked this video, please like it below. And please let people know that I'm sharing all this information for free. And then I also do have the 12-week boot camp. If you send people my way, I do pay a 10% referral fee. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. I can figure out how to do this.